Hello and welcome to Education Vision. My name is Hamza and today we are going to be starting the listening section of PTE. Listening section, the first task that we are going to be doing is summarize spoken text. And summarize spoken text is basically a task where you are listening to an audio, you have to take some notes and you have to type the summary in the box which is given to you. We will be seeing the interface of this question shortly, but there are a few things that I would like to highlight over here. First thing is that the listening section itself is unique compared with other sections of PTE. The listening section is responsible for giving scores to listening as well as a significant score to writing section. And you can note down, summarize spoken text, write from dictation, and fill in the blanks listening. These three tasks primarily are the key to your success for writing score, not just listening score. So this means that your skill and ability of taking notes is very important for the listening section. Next thing is that the listening section is unique in the PSN exam because of the fact that summarize spoken text is the first question task, and this is the only question task which has an individual timer. What do we mean by that? We mean that this is the only question task in the listening section which has a 10-minute timer per question. So exactly after 10 minutes, the computer will notify you and say that the time for this question is over. Click next to move on to the next one. Then from multiple choice multiple to write from dictation, there is a combined time, which means you have to manage the time from multiple choice multiple to write from dictation. Now in the listening task, let us have a look and see the different timings that are available, and let us try to understand them. So for example, I have this question of multiple choice with me. I see beginning, and then after beginning I see the word playing. Now for every question from multiple choice multiple to write from dictation, this timer of beginning and playing is not in your control. Meaning, the audio has played just a little bit, and let's say I get my answer for the audio, for the question, and I try to click next. The computer will not allow me to go to the next question, even if I've got the answer in 1 or 2 seconds. I will be allowed to click and go to the next question only when the audio is complete. So this is something we have to be very careful about. When the audio it ends, that is the time when it is my decision how much time I want to spend on one question. A couple of seconds, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. This is where time management comes in the listening section. So what I'm going to be doing is, when we are going to be progressing with our videos of every component of the listening section, you would observe an answering time that I would be recommending. That answering time is our recommendation to you to spend after the audio has commenced, completed. So as you can now see on this interface over here, that now it is completed. So now it is my choice that do I want to spend a couple of seconds, instantly click next, or spend some more time on it. This is where time management comes in your listening section. And in every video of the listening section, I would be explaining this a bit more in detail, question to question. So coming back to our main topic, which is summarize spoken text, it's an audio that I'm listening to. I have to take notes, and when I've taken those notes in a template, I would be typing it down. Now let's have a look at the scoring of summarized spoken text. As per the requirements of PSN, what is PSN expecting from us? And we see over here that summarized spoken text, it is in communication skills and score. It is giving score to listening and writing section. Now, what are the elements which are being scored here? So we have content, form, grammar, vocabulary, and spellings. Let's first talk about content. So we get a full score or 2 points for content when we have provided a good summary of the text. All relevant aspects are mentioned. And we get a 0 if we are missing out the main aspects of the audio. Form, primarily it refers to the number of words that you're writing. So you get 2 marks only if your summary is in between 50 to 70 words. If you're writing between 40 to 49 or 71 to 100 words, you get 1 mark. And less than 40, more than 100, you get 0. Now, form is important because this 0 means even if you have a perfect summary of 101 words, you will get an overall 0 over there. Grammar, if there is no grammatical mistake, then you get 2 scores. Vocabulary is basically the appropriate choice of words, or in simple words, the keywords from the audio, what are being mentioned, you have to incorporate those keywords. That is constituted as vocabulary in summarized spoken text. And spellings, American, British spelling variations both are accepted. And we get a 2 score if we have no spelling mistake. For 1 spelling mistake, we lose 1 mark, and for more than 1, you get a 0 for spellings. So this is the scoring as per what PSN is telling us. Now let us get into the strategies, the tips and tricks of how we can ace this task. So summarize spoken text, we get in the exam 1 or 2 questions. 27 marks this task is approximately giving to writing, and 10 marks to listening approximately, which means that this task is extremely important for our listening and writing sections. We have a total of 10 minutes, and we did just now see the form 50 to 70 words, but my recommended number of words, our recommended number of words where you get the highest score, that is between 65 to 69 words. And we need to take 4 sentences from the audio. Questions will not be considered as content. Now, before I explain points 7 and 8, let us have a look at the interface of summarized spoken text. So this is the interface of summarized spoken text. We have in the middle, we can see beginning, where this is the time before the audio, and when the audio it starts, that is the time when we have to start taking handwritten notes. Remember one tip: no matter how fast of a typer you are, never ever start typing your notes straight away. Always take handwritten notes and then you have to type it down. And in this box, what else we can see is on the bottom left side is the word count which is being told to us, and the timer also which is given to us as well. These 3 buttons of cut, copy, paste, there is no need to use them in the exam, as these 3 buttons are only for the text that you have written inside the box. So this is the interface of the question. So let us have a look at further points to understand summarized spoken text. So point number 7 is, when we take notes, remember that your sentence must make grammatical sense. We will be taking a lot of examples shortly, and I will be showing you that. And point number 8 is that when we are practicing, we must always start by taking 1 or 2 sentences from the audio and gradually develop our skills to be taking 4 sentences. Now, a lot of questions come to me from different students that, can I take keywords Can I give keywords to the computer? Can I take short phrases and just use some connectors and join them together? The answer is yes, you can do that, but your writing score would be very low. And this is what we have seen repeatedly from several hundred candidates. If you take individual words like table, chair, teaching, ecosystem, sun, moon, earth, road, and I just take those words and I plug them in the summary, I get a very low score for writing. So never take keywords. And then I was talking about phrases. So sometimes people take phrases like, it is raining, Edward went away, fast laptop charging, and they combine these together to form a sentence. Again, you don't get a 0, you don't fail the exam, but your writing score is very low. So what we need to understand is that we need to take sentences, and I will now be showing you how we can take sentences to make our preparation and our results a lot more effective and efficient. So let me show you how we would be taking notes here. Now, before I play an audio and I start taking notes, I would just like to remind you all about one thing. In summarized spoken text and in the listening exam, we can never ever predict the speed of the audio, the accent, the level of hardness of the question, which is where our preparation takes place and which is where our preparation has to be the bestest of the best. How do we make our preparation the best? Practice with first taking small sentences from slow audios and then increase the speed of your audio. Because if you have practiced with fast audios, the chances of your success in the exam are a lot higher. So having said this, let's now play the first audio. And I will be taking notes for you to show you how do we take sentences. And then I will also show you how do you check your sentences as well. Because this is sometimes a thing that I may assume that I have taken down sentences, but I may not understand that, okay, is this even right or is this wrong? Is the quality of the sentence good? Is the quality of the sentence not the best? Those things I will be showing you as well. And that is primarily done when you are showing the transcript, when you are checking your notes with the transcript of the audio. When your audio transcript is shown to you, when you're able to see that, it makes life a lot easier for you. And when you have that with you, you can definitely check, okay, was I able to take notes properly or was I not able to take notes properly? So without further ado, now what I'll do is I will be playing the audio and let's take some notes.
I'm glad you brought up the question of our investigations into the makeup of the Earth's interior. In fact, since this is the topic of your reading assignment for next time, let me spend these last few minutes of class talking about it. There were several important discoveries in the early part of this century that helped geologists develop a more accurate picture of the Earth's interior. The first key discovery had to do with seismic waves. Remember, they are the vibrations caused by earthquakes. Well, scientists found that they traveled thousands of miles through the Earth's interior. This finding enabled geologists to study the inner parts of the Earth. You see, these studies revealed that these vibrations were of two types: compression, or P waves, and shear, or S waves. And researchers found that P waves travel through both liquids and solids, while S waves travel only through solid matter. In 1906, a British geologist discovered that P waves slowed down at a certain depth, but kept traveling deeper. On the other hand, S waves either disappeared or were reflected back. So he concluded that the depth marked the boundary between a solid mantle and a liquid core. 3 years later, another boundary was discovered, that between the mantle and the Earth's crust. There's still a lot to be learned about the Earth. For instance, geologists know that the core is hot. Evidence of this is the molten lava that flows out of volcanoes. But we're still not sure what the source of the heat is.
Okay, now before we even carry on and see what notes I have written, before we compare these notes with the transcript, let us first see what notes I have taken, and then let's see, are they going to be classified as our good quality notes or not so good quality notes. So let's read the first thing that I got. Since this is the topic of your reading assignment, this is okay because we have the keywords reading, assignment, topic. The computer would give you a score for this. So the first one is correct. The first key discovery had to do with seismic waves. Now again, keyword seismic waves are given inside the sentence and it's making grammatical sense. This would be given a full score as well. These vibrations of two types, P waves and S waves. So P waves and S waves are also given here. Keywords are there. It will give me a full score. S waves traveled only through solid matter. S waves, the keyword. Solid matter, again keywords. I will get a full score. Next, what I've written, S waves disappeared. This is wrong because this is not a complete sentence. Remember, even if you have a keyword, but if it's not complete as a sentence, you're not getting a score for this. So be very careful. And the next thing what I have is liquid core. Again, if I take this and type it in my summary, this is going to be wrong. Now, let us have a look at my transcript. And let's compare these notes with the transcript as well. Okay. Make this a bit bigger for you. Okay. So now with the notes, the first notes that I had written, since this is the topic of the reading assignment. Since this is the topic of your reading assignment, this is the first sentence I did take, and this is going to be classified as a complete sentence for the computer. Now, technically, if you see from the transcript, this entire thing in green is the actual sentence. In fact, since this is the topic of your reading assignment, for next time, let me spend these last few minutes minutes of class talking about it. When I say you have to take a sentence, you don't have to take from full stop to full stop the whole thing. You're supposed to take a big chunk from it which is meaningful and it contains keywords. So again, you don't need to take from full stop to full stop, word to word everything. Just keep that in mind. Don't overwhelm yourself. Now the next thing that I have written is the first key discovery had to do with seismic waves. Okay, so this is what I took. This is a complete sentence. This is my second sentence. The third one, these vibrations of two types, P waves and S waves. These studies revealed that these vibrations were of two types. Now, he said in the sentence compression or P waves and shear or S waves. So I did choose P waves and S waves instead of writing compression and shear, simply to avoid spelling mistakes, that I could possibly make spelling mistakes there as well. And the next is S waves traveled only through solid matter. S waves travel only through solid matter. Again, this is a complete sentence. Now, What is the definition of a complete sentence? A complete sentence is that sentence which is grammatically complete. It contains keywords. It is making sense, and it is not changing the meaning. For example, if you look at the third sentence, S waves traveled only through solid matter. Now, if I would write this as S waves traveled through solid and liquid matter, I did add the word liquid, so now this entire sentence is invalid. I will not get a score. Or in the second sentence, if you see, the first key discovery had to do with seismic waves, and I write one of the discovery was to do with seismic waves. I will not get a 0 for it, but I have changed the meaning. So don't change the dates and the meanings inside your notes when you're taking them. Now let us have a look at the template. How we are supposed to be writing things inside our template. Because remember, the template is providing you that structure for writing down where your vocabulary, your flow would be enabled as well. So this is talking about the top delineates information about and the first sentence. So what is our first sentence? Since this is the topic of your reading assignment, so how I would write it down? The top delineates information about since this is the first topic of your reading assignment. Full stop. And ahead of the full stop, the importance of the first key discovery had to do with seismic waves, comma, has been distinctly emphasized. It included these vibrations are of two types, P waves and S waves. Full stop, and ahead of it you will write, therefore, comma, after considering the insiders of the speech, comma, it can be concluded that the significance of S waves traveled only through solid matter could not be overestimated. So the point is that when you use this template we have observed, this is purely our observation by giving real exams, this template provides the highest score when used in the PTE summarized spoken text exam. So what are the key points to take away from this lesson? Practice your note taking. Never ever start with taking 4 sentences immediately. Start with 1 sentence and instantly compare it with your transcript. Then go with 2, 3, and when you are perfected with 4, then increase the speed of the audio so that you are prepared for the worst case scenario in the exam. Hopefully this is useful to you guys. Keep practicing and carry on watching. Thank you.